And I know now that I need to help emancipate all the other light warriors like me who have been held back from fulfilling their mission, because it is now go time on this planet. That's what Friday night's message was. Hello, beautiful light warriors. My name is Amanda Lamond, and I'm the founder of the Ministry of Eternal Light. I have had visions of ministry since about 2018, and finally, during the middle of a very big spiritual awakening, another phase, in January 2023, my spiritual guidance team, the Council of Light, said, now is the time for you to create your ministry. And I said, are you sure it's supposed to be called the Ministry of Eternal Light? We had a little argument because I said, I've Googled that and there seem to be a few other ministries called that. They said, yes, dear one, this is the name. I have some amusing conversations with my team. And then they started telling me exactly what it was that I'm intended to teach in the Ministry of Eternal Light. The simplified part that I will share with you for now is that it is a community of those who serve the light. So light workers, light warriors like you who have awoken ahead of the collective on this planet, which is very challenging, because to wake up and realize that you are a multidimensional light being, that we have been on this and are on this enslaved planet inside a false matrix which has programmed our minds so that we think we are these traumatized characters that we are here to play, going through all of these life lessons. But most of us, because of the veil, have been unable to access our multidimensional nature. We don't know that we are part of God, that we have teams who incarnate with us, who support us. We weren't taught about these things. We were raised by families probably where you were, told that spiritual guides are kind of weird. Definitely it wasn't something that featured in my upbringing. So those of us who've chosen to awaken ahead of the collective have had quite a lonely path. I can't imagine what it's like for those who woke up 20, 30, 40 years ago. That was really lonely. The great thing is, since 2020, 2021, 2022, there are millions of us around the world who know that things are not on this planet as they seem, and that we are now experiencing the most extraordinary awakening that our planet has ever seen, that we are ascending to an entirely new dimensional existence, a new perception, a new way of literally experiencing reality. The best kind of download that I got on this is that previously it was only upon the moment of death when you suddenly would, be released from the human, this vehicle, this vessel, and see the body and go, oh, I'm still here. My consciousness has continued and there is the body, that suddenly you would understand again, at that moment of liberation, you would suddenly understand your true multidimensional nature and how I'm not this mind, I'm not this body, I'm not this character. What is going to happen with the ascension process during our lifetimes is that level of shift is going to happen while in the body. We're not going to die to experience it. We will have this type, and it's not a death, okay, but it is a death of the old egoic self, that limited view. Suddenly you're going to expand and realize your full multidimensional nature while you are still in the human vehicle. However, in order for this to happen, our bodies are undergoing a massive process, a shift from carbon dense form into crystalline structure. So this is happening at a cellular level as the light floods in. If you are a light warrior, you have a specific type of task on this earth, which is not just like all the light workers, some of whom can be anchoring in light in various, beautiful ways with music and art and looking after children or healing people, who are sick, whatever. Millions of forms of light workers. Light warriors are a category of light workers who have to battle the dark, that there is a form of needing to be a truth teller, of dealing literally with all the darkness that is coming to light and helping people to process this and to transmute stuff in our own bodies. So it is there is an element of battle. But remember that the battle is taking place inside ourselves. Because it is a holographic experience that we are having here, everything in the external world, everything here on this planet is a projection from our consciousness. Now, Most people do not know this, and therefore they look at this crumbling state of the world and there is so much fear. And obviously we are being kept in fear for all sorts of reasons. So we are being kept in fear so that we cannot ascend. But all of the people who are going, we have to fix the world, you know, this terrible, like, it's a calamity, look at the state of the planet, look at the, like, education is screwed and the legal system and the monetary system, blah, blah, blah. When you understand, it has to dissolve because we are holding it in place with our minds. They've programmed our minds with this false matrix. And the only way that we create a different reality externally is that we create a different reality internally, so that we start projecting a different reality. So literally everything that is dark in the world, it is being held in place by our own consciousness. So light warriors understand that the shift has to come from within. It's not about how much stuff can I fix and change in the world, like I'm not doing enough. The shift has to come from within. Although it seems counterintuitive, because we've always been told you must do. You know, you can't sit there and meditate and navel gaze, you must be doing things. So if you've been brought to this page, you are a light warrior, you probably have a big mission for humanity. You may know or may not know, you know, the details of that. It will be related to something that you have already been doing. It's never a completely new field. So, you know, if you've been in finance, it could be helping with the new financial system. If it's in health, if it's in healing. In my case, there's a particular thing around the legal system. What does the post-ascension legal system look like? So that's why I call myself a legal light worker, because as we start to understand that everything external is created from our own minds, that's going to change completely how we deal with wrongdoers. But I'm not going to talk more about my legal light work now. Let me tell you about the Light Warrior Bootcamp. About a week ago, I went through a very intense, yet another clearing with my beloved friend and colleague, Cornelia. Cornelia came into my life about a year ago. We've done a whole lot of work together and with clients, and she is a quantum activator, and she is I call her a ninja of the dark arts. When it comes to karmic patterns, your DNA programming, implants, attachments, entities, archons, any of that dark stuff, which I have known nothing about until about a year ago, because I thought I was here to serve the light. I was like, I don't need to know about any of that dark stuff. But over the last year, I have realized we are on a planet of duality, and therefore, if you want to bring in the light, you certainly have to know about the dark forces and the agendas and what psychic attacks are. So during my last clearing with Cornelia, I was shown multiple lifetimes in which I have been a minister. I already know that there's, I've had a few lifetimes, in Egypt and a priestess, but I have had multiple lifetimes of ministry. However, in every lifetime, they have tried to stop me. And I was shown this clearly, and I was shown multiple ways in which I've died and been killed in many lifetimes, and it will be the same with many of you who are light warriors. So we've been thwarted again and again, but it is now go time. In that clearing, I was literally, I was sort of bound and spread-eagled on the ground, and suddenly I could hear my soul, it felt like, screaming, you can kill my body, you can take the body, you can try take the mind, but I will be back. I will be back because I am eternal, I am infinite, I am immortal, I will incarnate again and I will fulfill this mission. It was very intense. I had to go to bed afterwards. But on Friday, suddenly, a new level of awareness dropped in, and I was shown that it is go time for the ministry. And perhaps I needed to develop what I see now as, a level of sacred rage that came up in me during that clearing when I was like, I will not be stopped again. There have been many, many, many things that have been obstacles in my path to creating this ministry since I was told in January 2023 that it is now time. But without going into all of the details, the psychic attacks have been numerous, and I know now that I need to help emancipate all the other light warriors like me who have been held back from fulfilling their mission, because it is now go time on this planet. That's what Friday night's message was. Let me read you a small part of that message. Gather the light warriors now and prepare them for their mission. Those who are meant to will know they need to step forward. It is a spiritual battle. It is a battle that will be won with love, divine love, a frequency so pure that it carries immense power. Bring the light of God into this planet now. Call God's light in every single day. Do not miss a day to both call in the light of God by decree, but also to visualize the waves of light sweeping across the face of the earth. It is powerful to do this together. Visualize together, feel together. You are the ones who know that the external world is a reflection of what is inside you. So do not look upon a dying world. Look upon the new world you know is already arising in the hearts of so many awakened ones on your planet. Beloved starseeds and light workers and volunteers, thank you for coming. We are gathered to celebrate your awakening. Let us give thanks that despite all that has been done to you, we are awake. So, dear ones, we know that we're divine. We know that we are part of God. We know that it is this gift to be granted a human life. We have been shown the sanctity of this gift, but we also know that it's a planet of immense suffering, and that when immersed in the illusion, the suffering can be overwhelming. So there are people talking about trauma everywhere, but most of them are not doing it from a spiritual perspective. So they're more like what caused the trauma and like how do you live with it, rather than understanding it from a higher perspective where you can drop it all. And I will talk more about this in the boot camp. So how this will work, because we do not have time to do like a long launch and get people signed up like one by one. We simply need to go. If you are heeding this call, if you know that this is meant for you, that you have been stuck in various like obstacles and doubt, confusion, whatever it is, not doing the practices you need to do of grounding and water, of keeping your frequency as high as possible, we are going to do all this together. But the first thing is I will do an intake with you, and then you will have 2, possibly 3 sessions with Cornelia, unplugging you from the false matrix. Your field needs to be cleared in order for us to create this container of a very high frequency. I have been shown that literally we will be working with Christ consciousness, but in order for us to have very high vibrational gatherings, we need to make sure that there are no attachments, that there are no entities, that your field is clear before you come into the container. So you will be unplugged from the false matrix, and Cornelia and I will check in with you and ensure, how you're doing during that process. And then we embark on this 3-month, journey together, learning about all the topics that I've put elsewhere on this page about the Light Warrior Bootcamp. We will be having, live calls where we bring in the light and we meditate together. We will be discussing any of the subjects that you don't understand, particularly like what are the dark forces and artificial intelligence that's trying to, take over this planet. What's going on? There is absolutely no need to fear, because the light of God never fails. But this is go time. It is a time that we are being called to join forces, to recognize the spiritual battle that the planet is under, and to take our role seriously as light warriors in this battle. Yes, it's actually taking place inside us, which is a confusing aspect. But remember that when we embrace our multidimensional selves, we know that the entire world is a projection from our own consciousness. The reason that we need to do this now is because it is going to become very turbulent on our planet. There are surges of light which are literally causing more and more dissolution of the old. The financial system, I believe, will fall by the end of 2025, maybe sooner. Some people think, but before 2024 is out. We are possibly looking at the emergency broadcast system, EBS, days of darkness, internet being down. We don't know what lies ahead. But those of us who have been on this path for a while, that it is our job to hold a higher frequency and to support humanity through this transitional process, which could get very bumpy. So it's go time. And either you will heed this call and know what I'm saying to you speaks to your heart, or not. I realized this is not about promotion. This is not about, trying to pull people in. I have always had issues around selling, which I still need to get over, because I have been shown numerous times there are hundreds of people, thousands of people who need your work. So you have to talk about it. You have to put yourself out there publicly. So beloveds, this is a call. If you have any other questions, please look at this page. I have set out as much information without trying to, make it millions of pages long, but as much information as I can. And the minute you sign up, we will start setting up your individual sessions. And then I'm going to iron out the detail. I run most of the programs through this online portal called Kajabi, so that all of the videos can be uploaded of the trainings. But probably we will use Telegram for most of it, because then it's in your phone. You can access anything on the go. You can check in. You can ask for support. It's going to be quite an intensive program. Please remember that I'm not trying to flood you with information. I will work with the Council of Light, who have said this is more about what you don't understand. I will teach through them, and then there are physical processes that we need to do to embody all of these new awarenesses. So it's not just about giving you like all the information, it's about integrating everything. So you will be having to do quite a lot of activities. Cornelia also has a wide range of beautiful 3D activities, we call them, to help integrate these massive shifts and changes. So if this is calling to you, if you know you are here to serve the light and you are ready to do it in community, it's time to register for the Light Warrior Bootcamp. And thereafter, after the 3 months, we will simply have to see where the world is, but probably we will continue in community, a community of the ministry of eternal light, of those who are here to serve the light. I know that I'm being called into the next version of myself. I also know that it's not simply Amanda, but that my higher self, who I've been told her name is Kavala, my higher self will be very much, facilitating this as well. And that I have numerous beautiful, the Council of Light, and numerous other higher beings who I can feel sometimes are at my back. And together we will be holding this container as it's going to be a container of light. And you're going to experience this energetically. So all I can say is, if you hear the call in your heart now, I can't wait to see you and welcome you as a light warrior. Thank you for your service to humanity at this time. It is not easy being awake ahead of the collective, but we volunteered for this mission, and it's go time.